Hello and welcome to today's matchup between the Immanuel Lutheran Lancers and the Melrose Mindoro Mustangs. As Lance had a long drive out here, had plenty of time to warm up, and we'll see if they can get off the bus here today. Always a struggle on these long drives as they will start out the game serving with number 3, Schoenbeck. Quick lineup check before we begin.
Oh man, that's yikes. Well, it's because they're fit.
And we are ready to begin. Schoenbeck back to serve for the Lancers. Dug up center, gonna set one back on the side. And into the net from Mickelson. As the Lancers take an early 1-0 lead, unable to be returned by the Mustangs. And Schoenbeck heads back for the second time. The back, received cleanly in the corner. Gonna set one up on the run for Mickelson once again. This time we'll get it over, received by Omen. Gonna set one across for Schaller. Running safe in the back, gonna set one back row. Sent back to Omen. Back across for Schaller, so just pump it to the back. Saved and set back, off the net, back to Lancer's side. Into the net, and can't be saved off of it by a sliding Gurgle. As Mustangs tied up at 1. And it'll be Sawyer back to serve. Sliding save by Schoenbeck, sent back up. Schoenbeck a long way to go with it, still gonna get it over. And off the backboard after going off the hands of Veith. As the Lancers go back up by 2-1 with Milky entering in for Goodman. And it'll be Green back to serve for the Lancers. Oh, miscommunication ends up dropping down in between Veith and Cogdill. As Green drops down an ace and brings the Lancers up by 2. Receive center, gonna just touch one over. Omen is there. Set back across for Schaller. So with a clean look on it. Lunging save, gonna send one back off the net and bumped over by Mickelson. Running save from Schoenbeck, gonna set one back for Gurgle. And mishits it into the net. As the Mustangs to the back with a chance to tie. Entering in for the Mustangs will be Young. In for Prager. And it'll be Young back to serve. And into the net, gonna go right back to the Lancers. 4-2 now as Williams and Eichstead enter in for Gurgle and Omen. And it'll be Williams back to serve. Trying to extend a 2-point Lancer lead. Straight center, gonna set one back center. On the run, gonna have to touch it over. Received by Green. Milky gonna set one across, close to the Melrose side. Gets to the Melrose side, blocked at the net by Eichstead. And can't be sent back. As the Lancers go up by 3, 5-2. Tips one high. Mickelson will send one all the way across. And sends one long. 2 feet off the back line. That was Cogdill. As the Lancers go up by 4, 6-2. Received high in the back, off the ceiling. Sent back and touched over. Green backs up to get it. Milky will send one center for Schaller. He's going to have to bump it over. Good spot. Got it over the hands of Veith. And no one behind her to cover as the Mustangs call an early timeout. 7-2, a 5-point Lancer lead here in the first set. Back in the timeout. 7-2, Lancers with a 5-point lead. Williams still serving, but not anymore as that one goes a few feet off on the sideline. Gives it back to the Mustangs, now within 4, 7-3. As Blake will enter and will head back to serve. The back, received by Williams, close to the net. Green sends one back for Eichstad. Good spot off the ceiling. Blinken gets it back in the air and touched over. Schaller's there. Back up. Center for Schaller. Into the net. And the Lancer lead cut down to 3.
45.2.
And it'll be Blaken back to serve once again. Dug up by Williams. Going to set one all the way across for Eichstad. Goes to the net. Stays off and touched back over by the Mustangs. Green back up and over. Set near side, off the top of the net, saved by Green. Back across for Schaller, blocked at the net, tip back up, Eichstad back in the air, and Schermek will tip it over. Saved and set center, fades away to get it, and into the net. 8-4, the Lancers back up by 4. And Nicholson will enter back in, and it'll be Schaller back to serve.
45.
Receives high center. Sets one back on the run. She's going to touch it over. Green is there. Bartles back across for Schoenbeck. Good spot. One-handed save. Going to bump one back up center. Going to back bump it over. Received once again by Schaller. Sets one back on the run for Milky. Good touch. Running save. Sends one high. Back across. Runs over to get it. And that one goes long off the corner. As the Lancers go up by 5. 9-4. Schaller back to serve once again. Had a couple of big runs in the Indy-Gilmanton game just a week ago. She'll send a line drive to the back. Miscommunication, going back to get it. Now bumped far from the back, and they'll get it over. Back across for Schermek on the run. Lost one high to the back corner. Save and set back center. And miscommunication in the back. Neither from went for it. Ended up dropping a few inches in on that back line. If the Mustangs bring it back within 4, 9-5, Prager will enter in for Young. And it'll be Ryan back to serve. Received by Eichstad close to the net. Green will tip one back. Schoenbeck trying to get it over and can't get it high enough. The Lancer lead drops back down to 3, 9-6. Received by Milky to the back. Schaller will send one back up for Schoenbeck. Mistimed her jump. And ended up sending it short into the net. As Young heads back once again, now within 2. Sends one deep. Schaller thinks about it, ends up hitting it at the last second with one hand. And it'll be Williams who will bump it over. Bump back across near side. Touched over, received by Green. Milky good fakes, gonna get it over and saved. Back up center, fading away. Back corner off the hands of Williams, and out of play. As the Mustangs bring it now within 1 with a chance to tie. Mustangs running a 5-goal run. Ryan trying to keep it serving. Offs one high, running saved by Eichstad back over. Dug up on the other end and set to the back. Schaller on a dive. Can't get it far enough, and we're tied at 9. And a timeout now by the Lancers. 9-9 here in the first set. Mustangs on a 6-0 run. Back in the timeout, 9-9, a 6-0 run for the Mustangs. They have now tied it up with Young still serving, now trying to give them a lead. Receive center by Eichstad. Green close to the net's going to touch it over. Good spot. Tip twice and out of play. As the Lancers maintain a 1-point lead, 10-9. And it'll be Wales in for Green.
Is that Carey's point?
And it'll be Milky back to serve. Offering high to the back, received high to the ceiling, one touch close to the net. Trying to send it back, ends up going into the net. And goes down as a lift on the Lancers as Goodman enters back in for Milky. And the Mustangs back for the tie game once again with a chance to give them a lead. It'll be Cogdill. Sherman can let one go and called out down the sideline. So Lancers get it right back as Omener's in for Eichstad and Girdle in for Williams. Schaller returns to the ball and will hand it off to Omen, who will head back to serve. Down the line, received high to the center. Sets back, bumps back, and that'll be, would have been 4 hits, untouched by the Mustangs, so that one drops down. Lancers get a 2-point lead back with Omen back to serve once again. Receive center, gonna just fake one over, Goodman right there. Sets one back high for Wales, good touch over the net. Saved back into play and bumped over. Up center for Wales once again. This time sends one farther. Dug up in the back. Gonna send one across. Cross court over to Schaller once again. Goodman back up. This time for Gurgle. She'll loft one high to the back. Ryan will send one over and bumped over by Cogdill. Goodman this time for Schirnbeck. She'll set one to the middle. Save and set up center. And into the net. So that was Adams. As the Lancers go up by 3, 13-10. Right back down the line. Good fake over the net, received by Goodman. Schirnbeck will set one to the side. Back across near side. Diving save by Girdle, but no one there to get it. She's at the line drive, up and out of play. As the Mustangs bring it back within 2 now, 13-11. As Adams enters in for Veith, who heads back to serve. Back up by Schaller onto the Mustang side. Sent back up close to the net. Punched back onto the Mustang side. Saved once again and set over. Goodman is there. Back across for Girdle on the run and touch one high. Running saved by Veith. Sent back. Good spot. Schaller right there to get it. Goodman will touch one over. Miscommunication in the back by Cogdill and Veith. It ends up dropping down as the Lancers go up by 3, 14-11. With now Schirnbeck heading back to serve. Bumps back and it'll just be touched down the line. Too far. Omen will let it go and the Lancers up by 4. The back corner, Mickelson retreats to get it. Set across, gonna go cross court, running saved by Eichstad, tips it back up, and it'll be 4 hits on the Lancers. Line drive right to the hands of Girdle. Goodman reacted well, but onto the wrong side. As the lead cut down to 3, 15-12, with Sawyer back to serve. Good spot, running save. Schaller can't save it as that one heads off into the Lancer bench. Brings it down to a 2-point game. Back, sent high off the ceiling. Omen sends one back, and sent over by Schaller. Set up center, gonna punch one over. Nothing saved by Omen, and that one out of play. As the Mustangs now bring it within one, 15-14. Back, running saved by Schoenbeck. Omen sends one high. Close to ceiling, but won't touch. Schaller tries to go for the spike and ends up sending into the nets. As the lead once again tied at 15. The back, that one going to be let go as the Lancers go up by one, 16-15. Green back in along with Milky for Wales and Goodman. And it'll be Green back to serve. Line drive to the back, and upset one back is Adams. And bumped over, received by Green. Gurgle on the run, will bump one high and over. Sent right back up the nets. Tipped twice and gonna get back over. Once again to the back, received by Schermack, close to the net, sent right back. Blocked, back over by Green. Sent back across, long way to go with it, still gonna get it over. Green will set one high. Back across for Milky center. Lunging save by Veith, close to the net, trying to send one back, but ends up going into the nets. Off the hands of Schaller. As the Mustangs tied it right back up at 16, with Prager exiting, Young entering and heading back to serve. Offensive Omen and out of play as Young will drop down an ace and gives the Mustangs a 1-point lead. The back dug up by Schoenbeck, sent back high by Green and over by Omen. Bump back center to the back, Schoenbeck will let it go. Greens is off the back line as the game ties up at 17. Williams and Mike settle enter in for Gurgle and Omen. And it'll be Williams back to serve for the Lancers, trying to give them another lead. Led this one by as many as 6. Went down by 1 a few moments ago, but now have tied it right back up at 17. As Williams will send one a little bit short. Lunging save, going to set one back across near side. Fades away to get it. Touch with the net, received by Schoenbeck. Green back up on the run. To the back is Milky. Touched up once again by Mickelson, sent back up. Schaller will touch it over. Running saved by Veith, back up in the air. And bumped over into a beautiful spot. No Lancers in the area as the Lancers go down by 1, 18-17. Mickelson exit. It'll be Blaken who will enter along with Adams. And Blaken will head back to serve the 1-point lead, 18-17. Off the chest of Schaller, tipped back up and over by Green. Back up center. Touch to the back, received by Williams. Green will set one back on the run for Milky. Running set, trying to save it off the net and can't do it. As the Lancer side right back up at 18. And Mickelson right back in with now Schaller back to serve. Receive center by Mickelson, will send one back. That's just be bumped over. Sent high by Green. Back across for Schoenbeck. And touchdown to play off the hands of Young. As the Lancers go up by 1, 19-18. And it'll be Schaller back once again, looking for the 20s here in the first set. Straight center, runs over to get it, has to get through a teammate. Now I'm going to just be bumped over by Adams. Set across for Schoenbeck again. This time received cleanly and set center. Off the net and back to the Mustangs side. The Lancers go up by 2, 20-18. Schaller gonna loft it up short and drops down an ace. Beautiful serve from Schaller and a timeout by the Mustangs. 21-18, a 3-point Lancer lead here in the first set. Back from the timeout, 21-18. Scheller still serving on a nice little run for the Lancers. Trying to pull away late and take this first set. Currently just 4 points away from doing so. Scheller fresh off her first ace on the night. This one received cleanly. Gonna set one back close to the net. And the back Lancer side. Diving save by Green. Punch back up from the ground by Milky. Set back and it'll just touch it over. Blocked the net by Milky once again. This time over the net. Diving save by Scheller out of play. And the Mustangs eventually get it done and bring themselves back within 2. And it'll be Ryan back to serve. To the back, received high by Milky. Scheller will send one back, and it'll be Eichstedt who will bump it over. Good spot, diving save. Sets one back row and over the net. They're going to let it go. Close on the line there to call it in. And as the Lancer lead now down to just 1. Out of the back, running save by Williams. Back to the Lancer side quickly. Scheller on the run, going to get it back. And Eichstedt will send it over once again. Swung away, good touch, diving save. Sends one back, but into the Lancer bench. And the game now tied up at 1. With the Mustangs riding a 3-0 run here, looking for a lead late. Into the net, and the Lancers maintain a 1-point lead. 22-21, just 3 points away. Wales back in for Green, and it'll be Milky back to serve. Out of the back, received by Mickelson. Miscommunication, still going to bump it over. Milky sets one up for Eichstedt. Good spot, diving save. Sets one back up near side. Cross court, touches the net, received by Scheller. Williams back up and over. Set quickly back, Milky's there. Have a chance to set it up. Across for Schermek. Back corner, sent back high, diving save back in the air. And bumped over by Young. Received by Williams. Sets one back on the run for Schermek. Close to the net, blocked right back. Williams will send it over. Sent back again. Williams right there. On the run for Schermek. Good spot. Lunging save. Set back high near side. Cross court into the net. Lynx is a 2-point lead. 23-21. And it'll be Milky back to serve once again. Just 2 points away. High to the back corner, fades with it, get it, it's an ace! Off the hands of Mickelson. And the Lancers now just 1 point away, 24-21. Right down the line, sent high to the ceiling, won't touch, gonna set one back center. To the back and out of play. 25-21, the Lancers take the first set by 4. And we'll be back for the second set in about 3 minutes. Lancers with a 1-set lead. And we are back for the second set. Lancers winning the first one 25-21, with the C team in their jam lost their first one 25-22. As Lancers look to take a two-set lead here, with number 6 Sawyer for the Mustangs starting off. Trying to force a winner-take-all third set. Straight center for Green off the ceiling. Goodman tries to readjust, but ends up going out of play as the Mustangs strike first with a 1-0 lead. The back offense of Schoenbeck to the floor. And the lead now at 2 off an ace from Sawyer. To the back, lunging save by Green, close to the net. Goodman tries to touch it over, tipped around a few times, and back on the Lancers side. As the Mustangs go up by 3 now, 3-0. Into the bottom of the net. Lancers bringing it back within 2, 3-1. As Milky let her in for Goodman, and it'll be Green back to serve. Deep to the back and let it go, and that one goes out of play. With the Mustangs getting it right back 4-1. And Cogdill let her in for Payne. Deep to the back, offense of Schoenbeck. Omen will send one up, and it'll be touched into the net by Milky. With the Mustangs going up now 5-1. Running save by Omen. No one there to get it. There's another ace for the Mustangs, sends them up by 5, 6-1. Tied by Schaller. Set across center for Schaller to the back line and out of play. And now it's 7-1. A couple more. Lancers might be thinking about timeout here fairly soon, as they're struggling to get going here in the first set. That one down on the back line for another ace. And now an 8-1 lead, and there's the timeout by the Lancers. Down 7 here in the first set, 8-1. Back to the timeout, 8-1. A strong start for the Mustangs after dropping that first set, 25-21. Able to continue their dominance here in the first 9 points with a 7-point lead. Lunging save by Schaller. Sets one across for Milky on the run. Just cuts it over. Set back near side to the corner. Offhand from Omen. Schoenbeck sends one back high and bumped over by Schaller. Saved and set center. Stops, goes back again and blocked with the net. Tipped right back in the air. Sent back, and he'll touch it down the net line. Schaller sends one back, and Schoenbeck bumps one under the net. 9-1 is an 8-point lead. Back corner, Omen's there. Green on someone back, close to the net, tipped back high, sent back to the corner and out of play. the Lancers bring it back within 7. Williams enters in along with Eichstätt for Omen and Gergel. And it'll be Williams back to serve. Good spot down the line, sent back into play, and bumped over. Received by Schimmick, set back for Milky, blocked by our play. As the Lancers bring it back within 6, 9-3. High to the back, received by Veith, and set one back, received by Williams. High for Schaller, center, trying to send one back down, but ends up hitting the top of the net. As the Mustangs get it back into double digits, up by 7, 10-3. With Mickelson back to serve. Off the net, out of play, untouched by the Lancers. As they bring it right back within 4. And now Scheller back to serve for the Lancers. Off the top of the net and bounces back. As the Mustangs get it right back once again, 11-4. And now Blaken in for Sawyer. Back corner received by Williams. Schimmick sends one up for Milky and she'll bump it over. Saved in the back and set for Blaken. Back up for Milky to the back line. Was it touched? And I'm going to say it was not. As that one heads out of play. A 12-4, 8-point lead now for the Mustangs. Receive center by Schaller. Fake tip over the net by Green. That one sent back too close to the Lancers' side. Sent right back by Milky. Trying to be sent back by Young and into the net. 12-5. The Lancers bring it back within 7. Wales in for Green. And it'll be Milky back to serve. Clean by Blake in the back, and set one back row for Young. Back to the Lancers side and bumped over by Schoenbeck. Sets one center. Off the top of the net and back onto the Mustang side. With the Lancers now back within 6. And you save in the back and set one across. Set down center. Scheller back up. Schermer close to the net. Can't get up in time. As that ends up rolling down off the net. Which gives it back to the Mustangs up 7. Goodman entering in for Milky. And back to serve for the Mustangs will be Cogdill. Received by Wales. Sent back up by Schoenbeck and bumped over by Eichstätt. Back up for Blake and she'll backhand it over. Wales sends one back for Schoenbeck off top of the net. And that'll be 4 hits on the Lancers as they go back down by 8, 14-6. Offensive Williams off the face of Schaller over net by Eichstätt. Blaken sends one back high, near side. Back for Williams. Schaller sends one high. Goodman a long way to go. Gonna get it over. Sent back to the corner. Tipped up and out of play by Eichstätt. As the Mustangs go up by 9, 15-6. Back corner, tipped high by Williams. Goodman sends one high for Wales. Good touch over the net. That's back over, received by Schaller. Goodman up for no one. Wales ends up going for it last second. and bumps it into the net as the lead grows to 10, 16-6. Straight middle for Scheller, tipped right back. Received by Goodman. Back across for Schermbeck, and she'll bump it over. Receives middle, Blaken back. And blocked that immediately by Schermbeck in anticipation. She brings it back within 9, 16-7. With Oman and Girdle entering in for Eichstead and Williams. And it'll be Oman back to serve after Payne enters in for the Mustangs. Good spot middle. Bumped back over the net by Payne. Giving us something for Schermbeck. Fades away to get it, but still drops one down. Under the diving hands of Young. Lancers down with an 16-8. As Owen will head back once again. Back tip tie. Back far side over the net for Goodman. Miscommunication. Ullman goes late and ends up sending it to the floor. As the Mustang lead goes back up to 9, 17-8. With Mickelson entering along with Veith, and Veith will head back to serve. Long, Ullman lets it go. And the serve goes right back to the Lancers. With now Schermbeck serving. That one sent to the back. Received high by Veith. Tip back up on the run. He'll just bump it high and over. Received by Goodman. Wheels across for Girdle over the net. Received center by Veith on the run. Gets someone back. Veith's going to send one over. Off hands of Owen and out of play. And the lead right back up to 9, 18-9. And the Lancers call another timeout. Down 9 here in the second set. 18-9 Mustangs. Just 7 points away from tying it up. Back to the timeout. Lancers down by 9, 18-9. That's Mustangs back in control this one from the beginning. Trying to finish out and force a third set to 15. As that one goes short, off hands of Wales and into the net. And the Mustangs. Ace brings them back up now by 10, 19-9. Deep to the back, received by Schermbeck. Owen sends one across and no one there to get it. As the Mustangs hit the 20s now by 11, the largest lead for either team tonight. And it'll be Sawyer back serving once again, just 5 points away. Off the top of the net, received high by Oman. Good enough 7 up for Schaller. Good spot and drops one down off the hands of a diving V. Milky and Green back in for Wales and Goodman, with Green heading back to serve. And that one goes long again for the second time in this set. Gives it right back to the Mustangs, back up by 11. back, high off the hands of Schoenbeck. Omen sends him back into play, and Milky bumping over, but too far, and they're going to take a hit at it. Back up high, and bumped over by Mickelson. Received by Omen. Set center for Schaller. Good touch, Veith is there. Back up center for Mickelson, through the hands of Milky, and drops down onto the sideline. Lancers now up 12, 22-10. And it'll be Prager back to serve. Being saved by Schaller. Back across for Milky. Good touch over the net, but out of play. As the lead now up to 13, 23-10. Dug up by Schaller. Across for Gurgle. Good touch over the net. Mickelson sends one back high. Back across for Cogdill, and that one goes long. But an inch off that back line. Lancers back within 12, 23-11. As Eichstätt and Williams enter for Gurgle and Omen, with Williams heading back to serve. Received high by Veith, close to the net, and ends up dropping down onto the Mustangs side. As the Lancers bring within 11 now, 23-12. Deep to the back, dug up in the back. Sets one high, and he'll touch it over. Received by Milky. Green up for Milky. Tipped the net, back in the air, and bumped over. And saved by Schoenbeck. Green across for Eichstätt. Diving save, can't save it off the net. And the Lancers now within 10. And Williams back once again, trying to keep up alive for the Lancers, 23-13. Received high center. Sets one back, and a fade away. Received by Schoenbeck, close to that. Green will set one back off it for Eichstätt. Offensive Veith, touch back over. Green sends one high. Back across for Schaller, close to that. Blocked from that, tip back. Green gets it back in the air, and Schaller will bump it over. High to the ceiling, won't touch. Back up near side. Cross court, tip back over that by Green. This one back far side, back across for Milky. Back up for Milky, but into the net. And the Mustangs are now just 1 point away, 24-13. An 11-point game. And back to serve for the second win will be Mickelson. Good spot, but just out of play down the line. As the Lancers going to get one last chance. As Young enters in. 24-14, going to need 10 straight to keep this one going. Back to do it will be Schaller. Misread, tried to set it, ended up going right between her hands. That was Young. Schaller drops down to the race and brings her team now within 9. Dug up center, going to set one up quickly. And into the net. Lancers now within 7, 24-17. To the back, running save, going to set one back across. The back, received by Schaller. Back up center for Eichstätt. Into the net, and that'll do it. 25-16, the Lancers drop the second set as we head to a winner-take-all third set. After the Lancers won the first one 25-22, or 25-21, and losing the second one 25-16, we'll be back in 3 minutes for the third set. And we are back for the third set, 25-21. Lancers won at the first one, then lost the second 25-18. As they will now head to a third set, winner take all, 225. And it'll be Scherenbeck starting off the serving for the Lancers. As every single game for the Lancers this year, their JV team anyway, conference-wise, has gone to a winner-take-all third set. They play three no matter what, but they have forced a third with a chance to win every time. As this one blocked at the nets, and a lift called on the Mustangs as some of the Lancer faithful enter in, including Zimmerman, Sito, Havemeyer, and Ulbrecht. As Scherenbeck's serve goes into the net, as this one ties itself up at 1. And back to serve now for the Mustangs will be Sawyer. Off the net and out of play. A 2-1 Lancer lead. And now Green back to serve. It's the back off her hands and out of play. An ace for Green off the hands of Payne. And the Lancers lead it by 2, 3-1. Had a solid lead multiple times in that first set. Struggled to get started in the second set. Ended up being down for almost every minute of it. As this one sent into the net by Mickelson, which gives the Lancers now a 3-point lead, 4-1. They're going to start out strong after going down 9-1 to start off that second set. Early with a 3-point lead here. Straight at Mickelson, sent back high. Touched over by Young. Back up and off the chair wrap. And back to Lancer's side out of play. 4-2. Mustangs bring it back within 2. And it'll be Prager back to serve as Cogdale enters. And the pull on the net will be fixed. And we are ready to continue. Tied by Scherenbeck, set across on the run for Schaller. Good touch, drops it down between a couple of Mustangs. Lancers now back up by 3, 5-2. Williams next will enter, and it'll be Williams back to serve. That corner sent high. Back across, supposed to be bumped over. Received high by Green. Saved up the net for Schaller. Touched twice and drops down. Got a piece of it as it came over. Tried to send one right back. Ended up going off the top of the net. No one going to get it as it rolled down to the floor. As the Lancers take a 4-point lead, 6-2. Williams sends one in for Mickelson. Sent back high for her. To the back off the net. And touched out of play by the Lancers, as they bring it back within 3, 6-3. Adams will enter, and it'll be Mickelson back to serve. Dug up by Schaller. Greeno someone across for Eichstad. Good touch over the net, lunging save. Right back to the Lancers side. Back up center for Schaller. Gets set. Saved high to the ceiling, won't touch. Right back to the Lancers side, right back to the Mustang side. Touched high and back over by Adams. Right back for Adams. Jumped too early. Ends up just getting enough of it to send one back in the air, but no Mustang there to get it. As Young will now enter in for Mickelson. And it'll be Schaller back to serve. Save and drops down for another ace for Schaller. As she puts the Lancers up by 5, 8-3, and a timeout by the Mustangs. Back from timeout, 8-3. Scheller still back to serve for the Lancers here in the third set, tied at 1 set apiece. Lancers going strong to start it out. Scheller trying to keep them going here. Receive tie center. Sets one back for her. Touched off the net. Gets it back in the air. Williams on the run. Will bump it back over. Set far side. Cross court for Scheller. Green will set one back up close to the net. And onto the Mustang side. Ends up going down as a lift on him. As the Lancers keep it going, trying to find double digits now, up 9-3. Down to the line, high to the ceiling, won't touch. And just bumped over by Cogdill. Back for Eichstead center. Tipped on a play off the hands of Cogdill as the Lancers go up 7-10-3. And Scheller continuing to serve for the Lancers. Lunging save, right to the Lancers side. Eichstead something right back. Save and set back across into the net. 11-3, an 8-point Lancer lead. Sends one high down the line, right back up close to the net. Just touch it over. Green is there. Milky across for Eichstead. Blocked at the net. Can't be saved off it. As the Lancer lead cut down to 7, 11-4. With Blake entering in for Sawyer. And Rhyme heads back to serve. Received by Eichstead. Green will send one back for Eichstead. Good spot down the line. And just out of play, about an inch. Right idea, had the space. Just couldn't quite drop it down as the lead now down to 6, 11-5. The back received by Williams. Set up center for Eichstead on the run. Tipped to the net, sent back high. Across near side, touched over by Cogdill. Back across for Schirmbeck to the back line, too far. And now only a 5-point lead. Received by Eichstead, close to the net. Mustangs tip it right back. Green is there. Eichstead will send it over to the back. Good spot, touched high. Long way to go with it, and gonna get it over. Back instead by Williams, back in from Eichstead to the Mustang side, sent right back. Saved off the net. Green will send one high for Milky, and back into the net. And the lead now down to 4, 7-11. The back off hands of Scheller and out of play. And ace for the Mustangs, and they're now within 3. Lancers led this one by as many as 8. And now a 5-0 run for the Mustangs has them right back in it. Deep to the back off hands of Scheller once again and out of play. Back-to-back aces. And the Lancer lead now just 2. Back this time received cleanly by Scheller. Sets one across for Schirmbeck. Hesitates. Now going to just touch it over and diving save out of play off the hands of Young. So the Lancers maintain a 3-point lead, 12-9, with Wales entering in for Green and Milky heading back to serve, along with Mickelson entering in on the other side. Milky trying to bring the Lancer lead back, which once was 8. This one sent far and too far, about a foot off on the back line. And the Mustangs get it right back within 2. Goodman in for Milky. And it'll be Cogdill back to serve. Out of the back, received by Schirmbeck. Back row for Williams, let's bump it over. Bumps back for Adams. She'll touch it over. Big chance for Lancers here for Wales. Good spot. dug up and set across near side. Cross court for Williams. Goodman missets it. Ends up going short for Eichstätt, who has to just try to bump it over. Ends up going into the net. As the Lancer lead now down to 1, 12 to 11. Sends one high and far, received by Williams. Bumped up by Goodman. Wales will tip it over. Saved by Young. Sets one across now for Williams. Back up high for Wales to the back corner. Touchdown to play off the hands of Mickelson as the Lancers go up to 13-11. Lancers varsity emerging from the locker room as they will have their game starting up fairly soon here. As this one just about the middle of the set. Varsity game should be starting up approximately at 7:15 as Oman heads back to serve. High to the back, dug up, and China just tucks it over, ends up going into the net. And the Lancer lead goes back up to 3. Line drive across, no chance for a diving Adams. As the Lancer lead back up to 4. Back corner sent high. On the run is Adams, so just set it over. We also bump one back for Gurgle. She'll touch him back with it as well. This time set center off the net. And out of play, untouched by the Lancers. 16-11, the Lancers up by 5. And Oman back to serve. Down the line, sent back high. And missed by Wales off into the net. And the Lancer lead cut down to 4, 16-12. Back to serve will be Veith. High to the back, received by Oman. Goodman will just touch it over. Touch back high and back across to the back. Schaller gets a hand on it. Back high for Scherenbeck. She'll bump it over. Set to the back. Oman will step up to get it. Goodman back across for Gurgle. Saved and set center. On the run is Mickelson. Down the line and out of play. 17-12, the Lancers go back up by 5 as Scherenbeck heads back to serve. Far to the back. Sent back row for Veith. She'll get it over. Received by Schaller. Comes back. This time for Oman back row. Receiving set back on the run. Over the net. Diving save by Oman. Wales can't make it there in time. And the Mustangs bring it back within 4. And it'll be Sawyer back to serve. Received by Scherenbeck. Oman sends one across for Goodman. She'll just bump it over. Saved and set up center for Mickelson. Out of play. Untouched by the Lancers as they go up by 5. Green and Milky are in for Wales and Goodman. And it'll be Green back to serve. Off into the net. Gives it right back to the Mustangs. We're back within 4. Hang around here as the Lancers near the end of the 3rd set. As Cogdill will enter. And Prager heads back to serve. Received by Milky. Set up center for Schaller. Veith on the run. They'll send one back. Bumped high and over into the hands of Scherenbeck. Set up center for Schaller again. Good touch. Another diving save by Veith. Sent high for Mickelson over the net. Owen once again. Set across this time for Milky. To the back line and out of play. And the Mustangs now within 3. With Prager back to serve. Received by Omen. Sets one up for Gurgle. She'll set one across. Lunging save by Veith. Set back center off the net. Back and out of play. As the Lancers go up by 4, 19-15. Williams and Eichstätt will enter in. And it'll be Williams back to serve. Sent up center. Touching to the corner, received by Williams. Green will set one up for Milky. Gets her footing and sets one off center. Fire cross for Prager. Step back high from Schaller, close to the net. Touch back over. Sent high, close to the Lancer side. Sent right back again. Sent back up by Nicholson. Eichstätt again. Tipped and bumped back row. Prager steps up to get it. Received by Schoenbeck. Bumped up for Eichstätt again. Saved once again on the Mustang side. Tipped back over. No one there to get it. And the Mustangs back within 3, 19-16. Adams enters in, and it'll be Mickelson back to serve. Off the top of the net, and the Lancers going to get it right back into the 20s with 4. We're back to serve for the Lancers. Doing great on her serving tonight as this one's set back and into the net. Lancers now up 5 within 4. Especially crucial in that first set, which they ended up taking. Trying to do the same thing here. Sends one short on the run, an ace for Schaller. Lancers go up 6, 22-16. And a timeout by the Mustangs. Schaller going strong on the service. 5 aces here tonight. She is just 3 points away from the Lancers. The set 3 win and the game win as well. Back to the timeout, 22-16 here in the third set. Lancers won the first one, the Mustangs won the second. And here in the winner take all, Lancers with a firm hold here towards the end, 22-16. Schaller off her latest ace. Sends one short again. Received by Thyme, set across for Adams. Lunging save by Williams, set back for Schoenbeck down the line, touch back high, back into play, and bumped over. Running save by Williams once again. Set back for Milky fading away. Off the net and rolls off onto the Lancer side. As the Mustangs bring it back within 5. And lots more Lancers enter. Little, Lang, Bauer, Bose, Nelson, and Cornish. As Lancer fan section grows, this one received by Eichstätt. Good fake over the net, touch back, and cannot be saved. Nice done from Green as the Lancers go up 6, 23-17, just 2 points away. Wales enters in, and it'll be Milky back to serve, needs just 2. The back, sent up high close to the net, Adams can't get a hand on it. Lancers now just 1 point away, 24-17. And it'll be Milky back to do it. High to the back. Line drive from the back row. Can't get it over. That's 4 hits on the Mustangs. And the Lancers going to win it in 3 sets. 25-17 the last one by 8. Winning the first one 25-21. Dropping the second 25-18. And winning the third by 8. 25-17, with the varsity coming up in about 20 minutes. Roughly 7:15 start time. They will have to keep a perfect conference record and get back to 500 after dropping to 6-7 over the weekend. Currently with a perfect 3-0 conference record. Coming up in 20 minutes, Lancers win this one in 3 sets, 2-1.